Hello everyone, Floyd Zuber here, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about how changing the wording of a concept just distorts the whole meaning of everything and makes a whole mess out of the conversations that you can have. So, do you ever wonder how names get associated with a movement, a product, a company, or an entertainer? The conclusion I reached is that it's attributable to market advertising. Mechanisms are put in place to reframe a concept that would make it more palatable to an unsuspecting or expecting public. A catchy phrase or tune is repeated many times with the volume turned up, finds its way into the neural pathways of the brain until it takes up permanent residence and no one knows how it got there, let alone how to dislodge it. The theme, replayed over and over to reinforce the suggestions that are meant to manipulate us into action or a state of being that we normally wouldn't bother with if we simply managed to use the thinking process that we have and apply them to facts and real information. Okay, let's get started, shall we? First of all, it's not pro-choice, it's pro-abortion. It's not pro-life, it's anti-abortion. Wasn't that simple? Now, maybe we can discuss how this conflict came about. A good place to start with is hunter-gatherers. These were groups of people in mostly prehistoric times who had to keep moving because that's what their food source was doing. Actually, the food source was mostly trying to get away from the hunter-gatherers. It's one of those vicious cycles, you know. Mobility was a prime motivator for survival of the group. Unless the group was in a food resource area, any woman who was pregnant was unlikely to keep pace with the group. So that put the woman in a position where she had to make a decision: abortion or desertion. If she decided to end the pregnancy, she got to stay with the group and benefit from the hunter-gatherer activities. If she decided to continue the pregnancy, that would risk the survival of the group and she would be left behind to die on her own, not unlike what would happen today. And with the transition to food producers and a more sedentary form of civilization, the practice of women deciding abortions on their own continued, but with the improvements and support from midwives. They specialized in herbal remedies early on in the pregnancy. The accepted practice of midwifery was so successful in the early 1800s that the beginnings of the medical profession wanted to get a slice of that economic pie. Actually, they wanted the whole pie. We can thank the pervasiveness of predatory capitalism for imposing a perverted morality through legislation to eliminate competition for midwives. Abortion was illegal, therefore it became immoral. There's a lot of talk today equating abortion with murdering babies, but the only murder of babies that I can think of are mentioned in the Bible, specifically Psalm 137:9. That was a recommended practice. The Bible didn't even consider that to be murder, something against the Ten Commandments, or one of the Ten Commandments. Really, you wonder why I drink? Think about that. It's interesting that abusive mentality persisted until Roe versus Wade. In the meantime, the medical profession managed to catch up and became more enlightened about abortion and realized the personal risks that women faced. But now, here we are again. Well, instead of legislation, we have a Supreme Court under financial influence, again from capitalism. That's how we should be framing the anti-abortion position, as pro-predatory capitalism. There's absolutely nothing that is pro-life from pro-life members. And this is Floyd Zuber signing off. If I don't have answers, I have a lot of questions.